The Cotter's Saturday Night, by Robert Burns. My loved, my honored, much respected friend. No mercenary bard his homage pays, with honest pride, I scorn each selfish end, my dearest meed, a friend's esteem and praise, to you I sing, in simple Scottish lays, the lowly train in life's sequestered scene, the native feeling strong, the guileless ways, what Aiken in a cottage would have been, ah! Though, his worth unknown, far happier, there I ween. November chill blaws loud why angry sug, the shortening winter day is near a close, the miry beasts retreating fray the plough, the blackening trains, craws to their repose, the toil-worn Cotter fray his labour goes, this night his weekly moil is at an end, collects his spades, his mattocks, and his hoes, hoping the morn in ease and rest to spend, and weary, o'er the moor, his course does hameward bend. At length his lonely cot appears in view, beneath the shelter of an aged tree, expectant we things, toddlin, stalker through to meet their dead, why, flicker in noise and glee. His wee bit ingle, blinkin' bonily, his clean hearth stain, his thrifty wifey's smile, the lisping infant, prattling on his knee, does his weary kia ugh and care beguile, and makes him quite forget his labour and his toil. Belive, the elder bairns come drapping in, at service out, amang the farmer's rune, some see the plough, some herd, some tentai rin a canny errand to a neighbour town, their eldest hope, their Jenny, woman grown, in youthful bloom love sparkling in her comes hame, perhaps to shoe a braw new gown, or deposit her sair one penny fee to help her parents dear, if they in hardship be. With joy unfeigned, brothers and sisters meet, and each for others weelfare kindly spears, the social hours, swift-winged, unnautic fleet, each tells the uncos that he sees or hears. The parents, partial, their hopeful years, anticipation forward points the view, the mother, why, her needle and her shears, gars auld clays look amazed as wheels the new, the father mixes why, admonition due. Their masters and their mistress command, the younkers, are warned to obey, and mind their labours why, an ident hand, and ne'er, though out sight, to jock or play, and be sure to fear the Lord alway and mind your duty, duly, morn and night, lest in temptation's path ye gang astray, implore his counsel and assisting might, they never sought in vain that sought the Lord aright. But hark! A rap comes gently to the door, Jenny, wha kens the meaning the same, tells how a neighbour lad came o'er the moor, to do some errands, and convoy her hame. The wily mother sees the conscious flame sparkle in Jenny's and flush her cheek, with heart-struck anxious care, inquires his name, while Jenny Halflands is afraid to speak, we'll please the mother hears, it's nae wild, worthless rake. Why, kindly welcome, Jenny brings him Ben, a strap-pin youth, he takes the mother's eye, blithe Jenny sees the visits no ill ta'en, the father cracks of horses, ploughs, and kye. The youngster's artless heart o'erflows why, joy, but blatant, laithfu, scarce can will behave, the mother, why, a woman's wiles, can spy what makes the youth sae bashfu and sae grave, we'll please to think her bairns respected like the lave. O happy love! Where love like this is found, O heartfelt raptures! Bliss beyond compare! I've paced much this weary, mortal round, and sage experience bids me this declare, if heaven a draught of heavenly pleasure spare, one cordial in this melancholy vale, 'tis when a youthful, loving, modest pair in others' arms, breathe out the tender tale beneath the milk-white thorn that scents the evening gale. Is there, in human form, that bears a heart, a wretch, a villain, lost to love and truth, that can, with studied, sly, ensnaring art, betray sweet Jenny's unsuspecting youth? Curse on his perjured arts, dissembling smooth, our honour, virtue, conscience, all exiled. Is there no pity, no relenting ruth, points to the parents fondling o'er their child? Then paints the ruined maid, and their distraction wild. But now the supper crowns their simple board, the halesome porridge, chief of Scotia's food, the soap their only hawkie does afford, that, yont the Halland snugly chows her could, the dame brings forth, in complimental mood, to grace the lad, her Wilhained Quebec, fell, and aft he's pressed, and aft he sees a guid, the frugal wifey, garrulous, will tell how tea was a tomond auld, sin lint was I, the bell. The cheerful supper done, why, serious face, they, round the ingle, form a circle wide, the sire turns o'er, with patriarchal grace, the big ha-Bible, ance his father's pride, his bonnet reverently is laid aside, his lyred haffets wearing thin and bare, those strains that once did sweet in Zion glide, he wails a portion with judicious care, and, let us worship God, he says with solemn air. They chant their artless notes in simple guise, they tune their hearts, by far the noblest aim, perhaps Dundee's wild warbling measures rise, or plaintive martyrs, worthy of the name, or noble Elgin beats the heavenward flame, the sweetest far of Scotia's holy lays, compared with these, Italian trills are tame, the tickled ears no heartfelt raptures raise, nay unison hey they with our Creator's praise. The priest-like father reads the sacred page, how Abram was the friend of God on high, or Moses bade eternal warfare wage with Amalek's ungracious progeny, or how the royal bard did groaning lie beneath the stroke of heaven's avenging ire, or Job's pathetic plaint, and wailing cry, or rapt Isaiah's wild, seraphic fire, or other holy seers that tune the sacred lyre. Perhaps the Christian volume is the theme, how guiltless blood for guilty man was shed, how he, who bore in heaven the second name, had not on earth whereon to lay his head, how his first followers and servants sped, the precept sage they wrote to many a land, how he, who lone in Patmos banished, saw in the sun a mighty angel stand, and heard great Babylon's doom pronounced by heaven's command. Then, kneeling down to heaven's eternal King, the saint, the Father, and the husband praise, hope springs exulting on triumphant wing, that thus they all shall meet in future days, there, ever bask in uncreated rays, no more to sigh, or shed the bitter tear, together hymning their Creator's praise, in such society, yet still more dear, while circling time moves round in an eternal sphere. Compared with this, how poor religion's pride, in all the pomp of method, and of art, when men display to congregations wide devotion's every grace, except the heart. The power, incensed, the pageant will desert, the pompous strain, the sacerdotal stole, but haply, in some cottage far apart, may hear, well pleased, the language of the soul, and in his book of life the inmates pour enroll. Then homeward all take off their several way, the youngling cottagers retire to rest, the parent pair their secret homage pay, and proffer up to heaven the warm request, that he who stills the raven's clamorous nest, and decks the lily fair in flowery pride, would, in the way his wisdom sees the best, for them and for their little ones provide, but chiefly, in their hearts with grace divine preside. From scenes like these, old Scotia's grandeur springs, that makes her loved at home, revered abroad. Princes and lords are but the breath of kings, an honest man's the noblest work of God, and certes, in fair virtue's heavenly road, the cottage leaves the palace far behind. What is a lordling's pomp? A cumbrous load, disguising oft the wretch of humankind, studied in arts of hell, in wickedness refined. O Scotia! My dear, my native soil! For whom my warmest wish to heaven is sent, long may thy hardy sons of rustic toil be blessed with health, and peace, and sweet content. And oh! May heaven their simple lives prevent from luxury's contagion, weak and vile. Then how crowns and coronets be rent, a virtuous populace may rise the while, and stand a wall of fire around their much-loved isle. O thou! Who poured the patriotic tide, that streamed through Wallace's undaunted heart, who dared to nobly stem tyrannic pride, or nobly die, the second glorious part, the patriot's God peculiarly thou art, his friend, inspirer, guardian, and reward. O never, never Scotia's realm desert, but still the patriot, and the patriot bard in bright succession raise, her ornament and guard.